Welcome back to Who Would Win. So, in this week's Who Would Win, Zion Z asks who would win the fight. I believe it's Karai is her name. Karai from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series that recently came out, the CGI one, and Ashi from the last season of Samurai Jack. Now, I understand why this he asked for this fight because they're very similar to each other. They're both female warriors. They're both not technically human. And they both have an interesting list of abilities. I'll go with Karai first because she's the one I'll have a little bit more trouble remembering everything for. But with Karai, you have a warrior. You have a woman she looks like she's in her late teens, maybe early 20s. I'll probably go with late teens. Now she's technically human, but she's not. She's now a mutant. She's like part snake. Can go through multiple snake forms. Can make her fists into snakes. She can turn into a snake. Constrict opponents, heighten strength, spit blinding venom out. But when she's not in that snake form, she is in standard human form, and she is a extremely skilled ninja warrior. She's master of stealth, highly skilled in hand-to-hand combat, where she can take on all four of the turtles at once, and fight. Leonardo, probably the most capable member of the team. 1 second. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. And fight Leonardo, the most capable member of the team, evenly in hand-to-hand. Now, as far as I can tell, she is not like more skilled than individuals like Splinter or Shredder. So while you can make the argument she's a master in hand-to-hand combat against like true masters, like clearly individuals who are just like have had the years of experience and training and everything like that to be superior to her, she still comes up short. It's just kind of how it happens. But she's still immensely skilled. She carries around a tanto, or tanto, depending on your pronunciation, which is a Japanese short sword. It's a dagger, basically. And she's highly proficient with it. Again, able to keep someone like Leonardo, who uses those swords, at bay. Someone like Raphael using sides, so forth and so on. Ashi is literally the daughter of Aku. To be precise, Aku met up with the cult her mother worshipped at, put some of his essence in a cup as a liquid. Mother drank it, was pregnant with his children, more or less, and the children of Aku were born. Or daughters of Aku were born. Now, she was the oddball out. She actually had like an interest in maybe not being evil, and therefore, wanted to see the world. But she was still drawn in by her mother and trained pretty much to be the strongest of them. And then they were trained to go kill Samurai Jack, and that didn't go well for any of them. But, she turns a new leaf, they defeat Aku, they live happily ever after until she fades away into existence. And that is very sad. And that was a bummer ending. That was a bummer ending to the series. If you actually go online, side note real quick, go online and look up Samurai Jack alternate ending. Just look that up. I'm certain you will find, I think it's like a storyboard note of the alternate ending that I think is legitimate, like an alternate ending they were thinking of going with, but they didn't. Spoilers, they do bring back Ashi, and it makes sense how honestly, it's simple, but it makes sense. The three gods that made the sword, Horus, Odin, and Vishnu, basically use their divine abilities to bring Ashi back, and Jack sees her, he's teared up, and he sees her, he's like, oh my god, you're back, yay, and it's like a happy end. I'm like, no, that really should have been the fucking end of the episode. The series, that would have been a much better episode ending than that downer. God, that was a downer. Anyway, as it is though, Ashi is extremely skilled in hand-to-hand combat, to the point where she, in pretty much a physical beast actually, because she literally on her own, even after rescinding her evil ways like the Wadara Aku is, completely and not only tore a army of easily hundreds of soldiers apart with her bare hands covered in their blood. And I'm like, jeez. It's like, that was awesome. And then but the thing about that is that when you actually watch her fights in the series, she's actually a lot better when going up against multiple foes than when she's going up against someone one-on-one. when you actually see her go up against Jack, Jack beats her because he's just first off, he's far more. He's essentially would be equivalent to like the Karai's Splinter Shredder scenario. Or she's probably not. She couldn't take them on, as far as I know. More say it's the same thing with Jack and her. She can't take Jack on. She theoretically couldn't take Aku on if it wasn't for her abilities. I'm trying to think. Like she couldn't defeat that demon samurai on her own. The demon, like our ghost samurai, that basically the evil samurai code, as it were. She actually barely beat her mother. She struggled going up against her mother. So against the opponent of superior skill or fighting prowess, she does struggle in a one-on-one fight. I think the reason she's a lot more capable against multiple opponents is because she's able to more or less blitz them and just can constantly keep the momentum going. But with one opponent just focus on her, just as she focuses on them, they can divert all their attention to her instead. So I think that's where her shortcomings come as a fighter, because against a superior opponent who can just focus on her and the task at hand, she's at a disadvantage. But that being said, she's skilled in pretty much any weapon that you give her. And she's the daughter of Aku. She actually has the abilities of her father. It's like, Ashi, you have all of Aku's abilities. I do? I do! And then she opens the door in time and saves the day. It's like, even Aku's like, oh no. So, yeah, which means if you ask what Aku's abilities are, the answer is yes. Meaning she more likely has shape-shifting. She got the laser eyes, you know that. She can open a portal in time. Probably enhanced durability, speed, strength, all that, malleability, shape-shifting. So she's got all those things going for her. So if we're going to use her, we will use both their counterparts. Basically, her at her strongest, which would be her embracing her Aku powers, and Karai at her strongest, which has her mutant powers. So, there you go, baby. The fight takes place in let's say it takes place in New York, and Ashi, while traveling through time, trying to stop Aku, travels this time dimension, whatever. And Turtles and the Karai are there, and maybe there's a confrontation, and all of a sudden they see this girl show up. It's like, oh, and she's, oh, hi. Ooh, excuse me. And then, Charles make you, he's like, you made me lose my target. You made me lose the title. It's like, oh, sorry, whatever. And then, it's like, you will pay for this. Like, why? And then, the fight takes place. Now, I think, honestly, they're even with what I said about Ashi being maybe at actual disadvantage in a one-on-one fight, I do think she is. I think she's more incapable in this scenario because they're very similar to each other. And I don't think one skill really is anything amazing over the other. If I'd give anyone the edge, it actually would give it to Ashi. Because she was legitimately trained solely for the purpose to kill. I'm pretty certain Karai was not. Karai maybe has that capability of killing someone in her, but she was not, as far as I can tell, she was not trained from her conception to, basically from her birth, to kill someone. Not let alone a singular target to focus all your hatred on. So I see Ashi having the edge there. But once she's, and I forgot to mention that Karai has a extra mouth on the back of her head. Yeah. So, eventually at some point, she's going to start using her actual mutant powers, which are going to take Ashi off by surprise. A giant snake arm comes out her. She barely avoids it. However, fails to see the fist coming for her face, so she gets punched in the face. Tmnt comes out, barely able to avoid it. Maybe gets a nick on her face, and then uses that Ku's power to use her arm, extend that, just throw her back, just throw Karai away away into, I don't know, building or whatever. Then Karai comes up. Again, snake arms comes like snake. Ashi, uses laser eyes, like blasts the stage, and her hands are now It's like, sorry about this. Like, whoa, and then sees her in full snake form. Like, that's strange, and goes in. And in a physical confrontation, yeah, I would say that Karai has the edge. Problem with that is this, and it's really the thing that pretty much almost automatically gives her the win almost every time for Ashi. She has all of Aku's powers, which means she has things like laser eyes and stuff like that. Now, Karai could probably avoid laser eyes, but she could also just open a portal in time, which she might be very inclined to do, and send her either in the future or the past. And just, she's about to, hit her and just, wah, and then and just throw her away. So, yeah, when you have that going on, hey, what are you doing? Don't chew on the house. Don't you chew on the house. Why are you chewing on the house? Do I have to give you another bone? I'll have to get her another bone. Yeah, when you have someone who can really open a portal in time and going up against someone who has absolutely no means to counter an ability like that, with the laser eyes, Karai could actually like dodge and avoid that. With opening a portal in time, she has absolutely nothing that counters that at all. So I gotta give it to Ashi more or less 100% of the time, because even from a physical standpoint, because she is the daughter of Baku, and if she's embracing her abilities as a daughter of Baku, then Karai probably just doesn't have the physical capabilities of taking her down. Okay, it's not 100% of the time. 95%. There's a theoretical scenario where Karai could probably, Karai could, I don't know, slit her throat or put a blade through her head or something like that. It's possible. But I'm going with Ashi 95% of the time. That ability to just open a portal in time could screw a lot of people up, for God's sake. So when you have the ability to do hack stuff like that, kind of tips the fight in your favor just a little bit. But let me know if you think. If you think differently, that's cool. Put in the comments below. Let me know. Just be respectful. If you're going to have debates, just be cool about them. I can tell you to do that. I can hope you do that. I know there's a good chance you might not do that. And if not, oh well. Thanks for watching, though. I hope you enjoyed. Now, I'm gonna save the what if for a little later in the week, just because, again, time constraints and work and all that. But I will have a what if by the end of the week. I also already know which one I'm doing. Tomorrow will be Kingsman review, the Kingsman Golden Circle. I might also see Lego Ninjago at some point in the coming days, because I'm hearing good things. I'm hearing it's the weakest of the Lego series, but I'm hearing good things regardless. So, yeah. Anyway, like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review at some point. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Super Magic, What If, anything I'm doing in the channel, put that in the comments below as well. I'll get to it at some point. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, folks. Good night.